final non-conference outing of the season comes up Saturday for Jacksonville State. They travel to Muncie, Indiana. They take on Ball State University. They will go in after a split again this past weekend. A tough loss at Troy on Friday evening, and then in Montgomery in the capital city on Sunday afternoon, another win over Alabama State. So you split the weekend. You're 4-4. As we have talked, you weren't happy with Friday's action at Troy, but you came back Sunday and played much better against Alabama State.
Yeah, Friday was disappointing. I didn't think that we gave a good account of ourselves at all, and then Sunday we did bounce back and we had a good solid performance. So 4-4. I think that we've up until the Troy game we were getting consistently better, and we're playing at a very high level, and I was very pleased with it. So it was disappointing to have that kind of hiccup on Friday.
So that first half, probably the most disappointed, or I don't know if I should say worst, but less than your best this season to this point?
Yeah, definitely. We were very flat, weren't as committed as we need to be. I felt like we didn't pass the ball well, and so it was a struggle of an afternoon, and we got some momentum back in the second half, and we did some good things, but we've got to learn from it, and as we go forward, make sure that we don't have any more afternoons like that.
Well, normally it's Friday, Sunday schedule. This is a little bit different. How did it end up just the one game on the weekend and Saturday up there?
We played an exhibition game at the start of the year, so I think it's a good idea just to play one the weekend going into conference play, give us a little bit extra rest, which we'll need, and Ball State will be a very, very good opponent.
Do you know much about them as you get ready to face them on Saturday?
Yeah, very physical team, very fast team, very direct team. So they will present us with a number of different problems.
Are they similar to anybody in the OVC that you're going to see in the next few weeks?
I think they'll be quite similar to Moorhead, and in their directness and their physical play. So it'll be a game that again will prepare us for conference. It'll be fast. It'll be furious. It'll be played at 100 miles an hour. So that's what we need in prepping us, because obviously we have Martin that opening weekend, and they are and have been the top team.
Nice way to jump into league play, isn't it? With the very first one take on that butt.
Yeah, we'll get them out of the way early,
You've checked scores, I guess, in the league. Is there anything that surprises you as you get ready to start OVC play?
Not really. I think the league is improving. I think that across the board we seem to be doing better as a league in our non-conference, which is encouraging to see. It'll get the league a little bit more recognition as a soccer league, and so I think that there's good improvements in it, and I think it'll keep getting better.
Thank you, sir. Safe travels. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
A visit with Brianna Salverda, Jacksonville State Soccer. They get ready for their final non-conference outing of the year. On Saturday, they'll play at Ball State University up in Muncie, Indiana. 4-4 right now, coming off a tough one at Troy last week, but then the win on Sunday. Just talk a little bit about the team so far and where you think you're at right now.
So far, the team's been looking pretty good. I think we've had our ups and downs, and Troy obviously wasn't our best performance, but we kind of pulled it together and did a lot better on Sunday. And we've had some great performances this year when we played Alabama and Samford. So everything's building up, looking really good for conference.
Good weekend for you. You got your first career assist this weekend.
Yeah, I don't get to go forward very often, and it was off a free kick, but it was kind of exciting, yeah.
Now, has your role changed this year? Anything different from last year to this year for you?
Coach pretty much expects the same things as he did last year. I think we're coming together as a team more, so we kind of have it more organized, but kind of the same thing, just keep the back line organized and obviously keep balls out of the back of our net.
Being in his system for one full year, I guess that's made it a whole lot easier this year now, hasn't it?
Yeah, you definitely get more comfortable with time and everything, and it's learning what's expected of you. And this season, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable with the role and what I'm supposed to be doing every game.
All right, we mentioned earlier Ball State, a rare Saturday game. You mentioned before we started this, first time you've ever had one like this, right?
Yeah, Saturday games usually only happen in the spring, but I guess because we only have the one, it's just easier, miss less school. So
OVC starts next week, and you'll be at home for that. Are you looking forward? Are you ready to get started against Ohio Valley Conference competition?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for next week. I think we'll have a really good season in the OVC this year, so and UT Martin's a great team to kick it off against because they typically do very, very well, so it'll be a good place to start and see where we're at.
Well, if you believe in polls, Nobody's expecting a whole lot this year, so it's time to surprise some people.
Exactly. When you're the underdog, nothing's expected of you, so it's the greatest position because you can come out of nowhere.
All right, I think we've talked about this before, but you're a long way from home, so how did you end up from Canada in Jacksonville, Alabama?
Just showcase tournaments, kind of the same way most girls end up where they're at. I went to some tournaments in Texas and Florida, and then got emails from coaches, did a visit, and liked the school here, so ended up coming down here.
Now, you're from around the Quebec area, right?
No, I'm from the west side of Canada. It's Alberta, so closer to British Columbia.
So the winters there, anything here comparable to that, or the summers or anything like that?
Not really, considering it's snowing at home already. So I guess we had the snow last year, but it gets down to about minus 30 there or worse. So
So you'd rather stay here in the wintertime?
yeah, definitely. It's a lot nicer.
Had some injuries that hurt last year. Courtney hurt for one, missed the entire season. Has that helped getting her back? Has that opened things up for some of the other ladies on the offensive end of the field?
Yeah, she's a huge offensive threat, and she's one of the best 1v1 attackers I've ever seen. Defending her is really difficult, so it definitely makes it harder on the other team. So having her back helps a lot for the scoring totals. As you can see, she's already got a ton of goals this season. So I think that has definitely helped us. And then Kelsey's been playing great so far and really scored a lot for us too, so that's helping out up top.
So we talked about the OVC. When you do get there in the next week, I think people are going to see a different team maybe than they saw last year.
Yeah, definitely. The whole team's attitude and just the atmosphere and everything is completely different from last year. And I think everybody's just really excited to get going and kind of turn this season around and from last and have a really good turnout in the OVC.
All right, thanks. Good luck this weekend at Ball State.
Thank you.
Final non-conference outing for our ladies on the road Saturday at 1 o'clock. They take on the ladies from Ball State University.